Hey, this is Miller from Creator and you're watching Rock and Metal News.
Hey guys, this is Ron from YouTube's Rock and Metal News with a Rock and Metal News flashback, looking at some of my old vinyl collection. And this was a huge influence on me back when I started to listen to metal. In 1985, this one came out, and this was Helloween, Walls of Jericho. So I picked that one up, and this was sort of my first taste of some great German thrash metal. And man, did this album ever hit home for me. The one thing I really liked about this album was it was so raw recorded. The recording of it was just amazing, and I just absolutely loved the fast guitar, and Kai Hansen's vocals were just amazing, and just the amount of energy that this band had. At this time I was kind of listening to Judas Priest, Black Sabbath, Iron Maiden. Those were some of the big bands I was listening to when this one came out, and I picked it up and I was just blown away by it. One thing that I really loved about this album was the bass lines in it. The bass was absolutely amazing, and the bass melodies were so great. Like, it was such a heavy music, but it had such great melody in it. And this is sort of where this power metal bands, they eventually kind of evolved from these style of bands here. I mean, these guys, they were super fast and heavy, but they just had some great melody. Some of the tracks on here: Walls of Jericho, that's the opening track, then Ride the Sky, which I just love. So I hope Helloween's going to go on tour this year. Actually, in 2017, they're going to take Kai Hansen and Michael Kiske on tour with them, so they can both sing vocals. And I think even the new Helloween vocalist as well. I think they're all going to be on this tour, so that'll be great. But they have the song Reptile on here, which is amazing. Guardians, Phantoms of Death, which is just a really nice long song with just some great guitar work in it. Metal Invaders, Gorgar, Heavy Metal is the Law, and How Many Tears. What a amazing album, and this was their debut full-length album, and it had Kai Hansen on guitar and vocals, Michael Wyckoff on guitar, and Marcus Grobkopf on bass, and it had Ingo as their drummer, and he was just an amazing drummer. He was so good. He ended up actually committing suicide, I think 1995, which was really sad news when I heard that one. But this was a flashback of some vinyl, and I'll continue to maybe highlight some old vinyl that I had collected, and we can discuss some of the older albums that came out. And these guys, I mean, after this album, Kai Hansen, he didn't sing anymore, and Michael Kiske joined the band to sing, and then eventually Kai Hansen went off to form Gamma Ray. He quit Helloween and went off to form Gamma Ray, which was another great band, and they both carried on as Helloween and Gamma Ray, and eventually they were both in the band called Unisonic. So if you haven't heard Unisonic and you like Kai Hansen and Michael Kiske, they put out 2 albums with Unisonic, and they're great albums as well. Not as heavy as this stuff, but really good albums. So this is the flashback for today. This is Ron from YouTube's Rock and Metal News. Thanks for tuning in.